How do you handle difficult conversation? Child care tips. As a child care provider, there's going to be conflict. It is a part of life. The question becomes, how do you handle conflict? How do you handle difficult conversations with parents? This is how you handle difficult conversation with parents. I'm going to share 3 ways with you. Number one, when it comes to handling difficult conversation, if you are upset, you want to make sure that you are calm and that you get yourself together before speaking to parents. You want to make sure that when you go into any conversation with a parent that you're calm and that you have control. Okay, so you want to make sure that you deal with if you're on a 10 or 20 or something like that, or you up there. Make sure that you get yourself together about what you're going to say before you enter into a difficult conversation. Okay. Number two, you want to make sure that you have great documentation. When you are getting ready to have a conversation with a parent, have proof, have evidence. Okay, whether it mean if it is something where a parent is going against your policy, going against the state standards, you definitely got to make sure that you address it, but make sure that you have it in writing. Have it where the parent can look at the policy, look at what the state standard says, pull out the state standards, put it up on the website or pull it out on the paper, highlight it and say this is what our state standard says. And then explain to the parent why this policy is in place. Explain to the parent why you are doing what you are doing. Okay? Number 3, when you are going into conversations, difficult conversations with parents, I have found that it's helpful, especially when it comes to a child. When you're having difficult conversations about a child, you want to have documentations. You want to make sure that you're calm. Number 2, and number 3, when it comes to a child, you want to make sure that you do the sandwich approach. And what I mean by the sandwich approach is this is something that I learned when I used to work into what you say the corporate world. We was taught when we had conversations to use the sandwich method. And this is where you start out with something good. And so, if you're going into a conversation where you're talking about a child, you want to connect with the parent in the meeting, whether it's asking them to come in, say something good to the parent, say something good somewhere. You want to make a connection. Good to see you. Like your shirt. Like I got on this shirt, roll tide, something. Okay, or find something good to say about the child. There has to be something good. Start off with something on a good note. Then you smooth your way on in. Okay, you want to smooth your way in, and then you bring the point to the issue. And even when you are talking to parents about a child, make sure you have documentation. Make sure that you have observation. Make sure that you have observation notes, that you have notes and you have um, proof and evidence of what you want the parent to see, what you want them to know, or what's going on. Number 2. Number 3, then you end on a good note and you shake hands. Come to an agreement. As you smooth over what you have to say, then you want to end on a positive note. That's what the sandwich is. Okay. So I've shared with you today ways that you can handle conflict, handle a difficult conversation with parents. So I leave you with this question. In the comment area, I want to know, how do you deal with, if you are a provider and you're following this page, how do you deal with conflict? How do you deal with difficult conversations with parents? And number 2, if you're not following this page, make sure that you follow this page for more. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.